The boy suddenly had a bad feeling when he was about to board the plane. All the flights were cancelled due to bad weather, except the one he was on. Looking at the broken plane outside the window and the slow working attitude of the staff, he felt very worried. He even had the idea of giving up boarding, but under the urging of his classmates, Teddy was still pushed onto the plane. When he got on, he saw a baby who seemed to sense the fear in the air and was crying. Teddy sat in his seat, feeling anxious. At that moment, 2 female classmates suddenly came over and offered to switch seats with him. Although his good friend in front of him waved for him to stay, Teddy couldn't resist his kind nature. When he switched to the new seat, he noticed the tray table was broken. The girls had clearly negotiated this switch to get rid of the faulty seat. The weather outside continued to worsen. The old damaged plane didn't seem reliable. Everything around made Teddy more and more uneasy. Then the plane took off and began to shake violently. Soon, Teddy's bad sixth sense proved accurate. Luggage started falling from the overhead bins, and the cabin lights flickered on and off. Even the experienced pilot couldn't control the plane. It veered in an uncontrollable direction. When the oxygen masks suddenly dropped from above, panic spread among the passengers. Before anyone had time to put on a mask, there was a loud explosion. A flare tore through the plane, blasting a hole through the fuselage. Passengers near the breach were instantly sucked out. No one could escape. Teddy was trapped in a nightmare, but it was just a dream. Then, the same 2 female classmates came to switch seats with Teddy again. He ran to the new seat and discovered the tray table was broken, just like in the dream. He became certain that the dream would come true. Teddy began screaming wildly in the cabin, warning everyone that the plane was going to crash. He said everyone on board would die and begged the crew to stop the flight, but no one believed him. Instead, they thought he was insane. Some passengers, worried that Teddy would delay their trip, hit him. The staff believed he was trying to create panic. Everyone froze. Teddy's nightmare had just come true. The plane exploded. Teddy, who had just been mocked and beaten, suddenly became a hero. But afterward, he was arrested as a suspected terrorist. The police demanded to know how he had been so sure the plane would crash. Did he plant a time bomb? Teddy was speechless. He was eventually released due to lack of evidence, but how could he make anyone believe that it had all come from a dream? Sometimes, when facing the unknown, you really do have to trust that sudden, ominous sixth sense.